Tidbits from TNT, Friday morning, August 29, 2025. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com blog and become our supporter on Patreon. TNT. Tishwash. Iraqi ports are included for the first time in the global list of STS service providers, Iraq tourism packages. The general company for Iraqi ports announced today, Thursday, its official inclusion, for the first time in its history. On the global list of ship-to-ship transfer, STS, service providers, according to the list issued by the global consulting firm Dynamarine. In a statement received by Al Sa'a Network, the company's general manager, Farhan Al-Fartusi, said, "The launch of side-loading services at ports represents a strategic shift that will enhance the confidence of shipping companies and maritime fleets." He added, "The company provides side-loading services using modern equipment and specialized personnel, and has received excellent ratings from the vessels it has handled." He noted that, joining the international list will contribute to increasing the number of incoming vessels, increasing revenues, and expanding the scope of maritime services to keep pace with the requirements of global trade. Al-Fartusi pointed out that, this achievement comes as part of the general company for Iraqi ports strategy to improve the quality of its services and strengthen Iraq's position on the international maritime transport map. Tishwash. President of the Republic. There is an urgent need to pass the oil and gas law. President Abdul Latif Jamal Rashid stressed that there is an urgent need to pass the oil and gas law and detailed laws on the distribution of revenues, to solve the existing problems. The president said in a televised interview, "The Arab Kurdish Cultural Center is an important step towards strengthening common rapprochement through studying common history and destiny." He explained, "The relationship between the federal government and the Kurdistan regional government is good in all areas. And the existing differences are originally between the provinces and the federal government, and what is common to them is greater than the differences." He stressed, "There is an urgent need to pass the oil and gas law and detailed laws on the distribution of revenues to solve the existing problems, and unfortunately, Parliament has not succeeded in passing the important oil and gas law." He pointed out, "It is the government's duty to provide salaries for all employees, and we have a major problem in government expenditures from salaries, as they reach more than 80% of the state's revenues, while in other developed countries they do not reach more than 6%, and we must solve this problem." He added, "We must ensure free and fair elections, and prevent the exploitation of power and its resources for electoral purposes. We, in the four presidencies, agreed on a document to be electoral regulations to be adopted by the Electoral Commission and other bodies concerned with organizing them." He stressed that there is no truth to the postponement of elections or the formation of an emergency government. "And we must ensure our people's confidence in holding fair elections on time. We in Iraq are proud that all electoral processes took place on time without delay." The president stressed that the world is facing a major water crisis as a result of climate change, including Iraq. "We must obtain a fair share from neighboring countries, stop our waste, and use modern irrigation and agricultural methods." He stressed, "The continued aggression on Gaza has a negative impact on the entire region, and our position in Iraq is clear and not new. In our support for the Palestinian people in achieving their full legitimate rights to self-determination. The aggression must now stop, humanitarian aid must be delivered, and famine must be stopped." Link. Tishwash. KRG delegation to visit Baghdad for talks on resuming oil exports to Turkey. Sabah Subi, a member of the Iraqi Parliament's Oil and Gas Committee, told Kurdistan 24 on Thursday that the delegation will travel to Baghdad on September 2 for talks with senior officials from the Iraqi Ministry of Oil and the SOMO. A high-level delegation from the Kurdistan Regional Government's KRG, Ministry of Natural Resources, accompanied by representatives of oil companies operating in the region, is set to visit Baghdad next week to discuss the resumption of oil exports through the Turkish port of Ceyhan, Iraq tourism packages. Sabah Subi, a member of the Iraqi Parliament's Oil and Gas Committee, told Kurdistan 24 on Thursday that the delegation will travel to Baghdad on September 2 for talks with senior officials from the Iraqi Ministry of Oil and the State Organization for Marketing of Oil, SOMO. According to Subi, the main objective of the meeting is to reach a binding agreement that would allow oil exports to restart, as several companies have expressed reluctance to move forward without a written arrangement. A final deal is widely expected to be achieved in the upcoming talks, particularly as oil production in the Kurdistan region has recently increased. The planned discussions follow a visit by a delegation from Iraq's Ministry of Oil and SOMO to the Turkish port of Ceyhan last week. During that visit, the Iraqi side finalized technical procedures and secured an understanding with Turkey regarding the export of oil from the Kurdistan region. Oil exports through the Iraq-Turkey pipeline have been suspended since March 2023 following a ruling by the International Chamber of Commerce, ICC, that halted independent Kurdish oil sales. Oil exports have long been a contentious issue between the KRG and the federal government, impacting the region's economic stability and development. Iraq tourism packages. The suspension has significantly affected the KRG revenue, which heavily depends on oil exports. This has led to financial challenges for the region. Efforts to resolve the issue through negotiations between the KRG and the federal government are ongoing. Listen to the full version on the official dinarreport.com blog and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: dinarrecaps.com